boy. Undeniably the illest cat around. Bros Talk MMA. This is the official UFC 323 recap. Final pay-per-view of the year, y'all. The end of it was crazy. I'd say this is definitely one of the top cards of the year. It's weird when the championship fights are somewhat underwhelming. The main event was good. Peter Yan came in, did his thing. So, shouts out to him. Co-main event was crazy with what appeared to be like an elbow dislocation from Pantoja. And then but everything leading up to those two fights, fire. Super bangers. Tremendous night of fights. Give me 1 second here, real quick. I'm gonna grab my other phone. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah. Let's see here. Make sure I get this lineup of fights real quick. Let's see here. Yeah, to start things off, we have Myron Santos going up against Muhammad Naimov. And that fight was crazy. I mean, Naimov took a stiff jab at the beginning, or not the beginning, but just like in the first round. And then it just seemed like he was hesitant to try and engage anytime after at that point. It was almost like he knew that Santos had the capability to put him down, and he really didn't want to test those waters, and just basically was just trying to survive, but still wasn't able to make it. Santos was able to find a finish in the third round, and yeah, so he started things off, which was like a long night of finishes. This was a very entertaining card, in my opinion, and definitely for the final pay-per-view, foreseeably for the future, and for the ESPN era and the year, all that, it delivered, in my opinion. So moving on to the next bout, we had Mansour Abdul Malik going up against Antonio Tricali. And this is exactly how we called it on the show. This is even how we called it on yesterday's broadcast with Cesar Marin, the legend, with whom we will get with here very soon. I promise you that. Let me see if I can even pull up. Nope, I can't even pull up the live. I'm gonna have to get on this real quick, but we'll be talking about some things because me and my boy have a lot to celebrate once again. I'm staying in for the night because I did so well on my picks and my bets tonight. In particular, fights to not go the distance. Shout outs to my guy Cesar Marin. But yeah, get with me in the chat, y'all. UFC 323 recap. Once again, what I think was one of the top cards of the year. Definitely delivered, entertainment wise. And let's see here. Moving on to the next bout, we had the Ewo versus Ebo Super Bowl. Basically, it was the battle of the E something. If your name started with like an E, which I mean, I guess when you have an I at the beginning of your name, En, Ewo, Ebo, that's how it goes. So these two, kind of like what I thought would happen, just throwing hammers. Baranowski, though, he came through. Shot to the top of one of my favorite fighters that I'm gonna be excited to watch next time that I see their name put on a card, because he oh man, that was a tremendous showing. They just started throwing hammers. Aslan had him rocked early. He just dogged his way through it, and then eventually started laying hammers on Aslan, which is kind of what I thought would happen, but I did think that some grappling would get involved. But no, he just weathered the storm, and then eventually was able to catch Aslan when he was trying to throw a combo together. And yeah, Baranowski ended up taking that one home. So shouts out to them. Then like I said yesterday, or on Thursday's broadcast, bruh, like the fact that we had this card as the fourth matchup, um, yo, Cesar, let me know if you're here on the video. I'm about to hit you up real quick in the joint. Let me hit you up real fast. Let me see if I can get my guy in here, Cesar Martin, the legend. I'm live now, my guy. Let's go. Yes, we got a lot to celebrate in the post fight. This card we did very well. Let's go. Yes, indeed, we did. But yeah, so moving on to the fourth fight of the night, which was a banger, and I couldn't even believe its placement on the card. But that's how dope this card was. We had Jalen Turner going up against Edson Barbosa, and yeah, that one was a banger. I mean, a lot of fights finished tonight, and Jalen Turner, oh my God, at first they thought it was a clash of heads, but eventually it came to light that Turner landed a nasty elbow to the head, opened Barbosa up, and then in the midst of an exchange landed a nasty knee that rocked Barbosa, and he really wasn't able to recover after that. That's it. Pretty much was downhill from there, and then yeah, Turner was able to finish him off eventually and make his triumphant return, which I don't even really call a return. I feel like Homeboy just took it, like he took break in between fight took a break in between fight camps. He was off for 4 months. Then he called up UFC. He said, "You know what? I guess I am, ready to fight again. Give me something if you got something." They gave him something. He had about 4 months to train for the fight. And then he came out and he did his thing. And I don't know if he found his love for it again or, exactly how he feels. But I know that he definitely, you know, he 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 has all the tools. He just needs to put it together. And we got my guy in the building, Cesar Marin. We did it, my man. We did it. I think every fight that we broke down yesterday, outside of Blachowicz versus Guskov, I think every one of those fights went through. And if you checked this out yesterday and seen our prop parlay broadcast just detailing how we were going to put together a prop parlay via the vision of my guy Cesar Martin, the legend. We put together prop parlays based on fights that weren't going to go the distance. I think it was only like Merab and Jan that we thought maybe would go the distance, which it did, and we cashed in some parlays on that too. Luckily Merab didn't get finished. I'm sad that he lost, but it is what it is. We cashed in, and I could share my tickets, but what I will say is, I made a humble, probably about like $50, maybe about $75 investment. I was looking at close to 300 at when the night was closed, so I'm feeling good about myself. I got my guy. I seen his tickets. We were showing tickets as the night was going. He even cashed out some stuff. Given that it was about to. Merab was looking a little shaky, and he was able to get that done. So telling you, Bros Talk MMA, you got to tune in Thursdays for full card breakdowns, picks, and predictions with my bro hosts, Ray Bucks. Shout out to him. Shouts out Darren Teed. But you also got to get with my guy Cesar Martin in the chat. You also got to get with my guy Cash Money, Fight Bloodline. Make sure you subscribe to their channel. Go check them out. Make sure that you go check out my guy MMA Mystic. Go check out the UFC predictions tracker if you really want to get insight to who be really making these picks out here. In terms of picks, I did pretty well. I think the entire team did pretty well. But in terms of bets, man, especially with those not to go the distance, like, bruh, easy money. Easy fucking money. Looking forward to definitely doing some more breakdowns on those kind of parlays because it, like once I got with my guy Cesar, it just started to make so much sense, and now we out here making this money, you know. So yeah, shouts out to my guy. Um, then we move on to the Bruno Fajeda Marvin Vettori fight. Fajeda did his thing. I mean, Vettori, he's able to Homer Simpson his way through fights. He's got a fucking brick head that he takes mad punishment, he absorbs shots, and usually he's able to kind of grind dudes out or break them down or, you know, start to get ahead on the cards because dudes are just, they have nothing left to throw and they start to get labored, which, you know, Fajeda showed signs of laboring at times, but Vittori just wasn't active enough. And I feel like he he was taking those shots, but he was also starting to feel them, and you know he didn't really want to be able, he didn't want to get finished necessarily, but yeah, it just made him hesitant, you know, shy. Let's see here. Oh yeah, we made some money, my guy. Uh, he absorbs everything. Yeah, Vittori's crazy, bruh. Like, you know, he definitely absorbed some shots. He had some moments where he could have took advantage of fatiguing Fajeda, but ultimately Fajeda got the win, which was a big one for him. So he'll be his competition's definitely about to step up, and he can't afford to be missing weight or, you know, having those sluggish moments in the fight and just relying on power shots. But he got away with the win on this one. Moving us on to Nazim Sadikov going up against Faris Ziam. This was a really good fight. Definitely went the way that I seen it. I'm not gonna lie. I had a lot of joints with this as an outlier in it, as a fight to not go the distance. Because to be totally honest, knowing how both of these guys fight, I definitely seen it to be something that had all the makings for it definitely to have a finish. But you know, it's just you never know. Sadikov definitely could have neutralized some of Ziam's offense, but it didn't happen. And not only did Ziam get the win, but he got the finish nasty at the bell of the second round. Definitely one of those things where I wasn't sure why Herzog was letting it go to the bell to finish it, but then when he did, I definitely agree with the stoppage. But at the end of the day, I just don't know why he let it go to the bell. Um, I don't know what that meant betting wise for anybody who was betting some sort of type of length or over under type of joint, but um definitely helped me out because that fight didn't go the distance, and that definitely helped me cash some parlays throughout the night. So that was fire. Uh, much love, Utica. You called it. Yeah, Zion. He's dangerous, bruh. He's just getting better by the fight. You know, he came in, I think he was definitely a dangerous striker, is kind of what his base was. He was definitely good with the striking. But there was a fight where he kind of got ragdolled with some grappling. And ever since that fight, I've seen him really, you know, step his game up in the grappling and become well rounded and a threat pretty much everywhere the fight goes. So yeah, able to get the takedown on Sadi Cobb and then elbow him fucking into submission. It was crazy. Uh oh no. I definitely went over the Ebo Bull. That shit was crazy, man. Definitely they were on pace for fight of the night. I don't know how bonuses are gonna go, but definitely those cats should get 50K. You know, at least Baranowski. Uh, I feel like there were some other bangers on the card, but to be totally honest, if they gave fight of the night to that one, I would not be mad because that shit was fire. Um, yeah, nah. I mean, Baranowski. I was saying earlier, definitely shot up my list of fighters I'm excited to see next time they get put on a card, you know, because I knew that these dudes were going to come out and throw bombs. That's exactly what they did. Baranowski didn't even really need to go to the grappling. He just dogged it out, you know, took some of Aslan's best, stayed upright, and then was able to time some of that those shots coming at him, and then just cracked Aslan and then put him down for good. So, shouts out to him. Moving on to Karine Silva going up against Macy Barber. I'm gonna go ahead and apologize to Macy Barber. I said I wasn't even sure if she was gonna make it to the scale. Not only did she make it to the scale, but she came in and she showed what it is. Like that's what she does, and definitely would have went for her had I thought that that was the type of time she was on, but I wasn't sure. Karine Silva kind of just did Karine Silva things. Um, just I think she's probably a fade from here on out. Yeah, definitely Cesar. I think great card, maybe bet one definitely top 5, top 10 cards of the year for sure in terms of just you know lots of finishes and just entertainment value. Co-main event was super underwhelming, but I think Pantoja, he gets his arm right, gets back in there. I think he'll be all good to go. Um, but yeah, Macy Barber did her thing. Definitely made a statement. I think she has, she has a fight or two to put herself back into the title conversation, but definitely did her thing and righted a wrong from earlier in the year when she was supposed to go up against Aaron Blanchfield and had to pull out before walkouts. I mean, literally, the co-main event happened. They went through montages, and then they just were like, "Hey, we're gonna have to go to commercial break." Come to find out, she ended up having to pull out the fight due to health conditions. But yeah. All the money, baby. All the money. I can't wait to get to that. We're just gonna run this card down. So we moved on to Terrence McKinney versus Chris Duncan, which was another one. Easy cash in on fights not to go to distance. There was some tricky money line activity, I guess, going on in terms of money, like in terms of the odds shifting, but then yeah, money line odds in particular. So people were starting to think maybe there was something wrong with Chris Duncan, but nah, he came out there, does what he does best, freaking weathers the storm, outdogs his opponent, and I was actually able to put McKinney down because McKinney pretty much did what he does. He comes out, he starts fast, lands effectively and heavy, but then eventually swings himself out, leaves himself open, and then he got cracked, and then it was a club and sub. So, hey, shouts out to both those guys. Super entertaining. I think McKinney, he's one of those guys that I try to say this, I think the UFC, if you're going to lose, you might as well lose by, getting finished rather than just trying to survive in there because I'm just telling you, like they'll give you another fight. And McKinney, he ain't got no shortage of fights ahead of him in the UFC. He's gonna be just fine. But he definitely went out on his shield tonight. So salute to him, salute to Chris Duncan. Then we move on to the feature prelim of the night. We had Grant Dawson going up against Manuel Torres, and this went exactly how I thought it was gonna go too. Like I don't know where anybody got the idea that Grant Dawson was going to be able to fuck with Manuel Torres. Like I just don't understand. Like, I definitely knew that if Grant Dawson wasn't able to get that grappling going, which, Torres isn't no slouch with the grappling. That's definitely not his preferred method of getting things done, but he does have, success there. And yeah, once I seen him start shrugging off some of those takedown attempts, I was like, ooh, this is going to end up being on the feet. And the longer it stays on the feet, the worse it's about to get for Dawson. And eventually, bow! Just like Cesar Marin, the legend in the chat says, bro, those Mexican hands. And yes, he cracked him. And yeah, that was easy money, easy work, easy fight not to go the distance. And then we move on to the opening fight of the main card. We have this one, like I said yesterday, we had it a part of the main series of parlays for fights not to go the distance, but it was the one that we both pointed out as like, I'm not too sure about this one. And it was Jan Blachowicz going up against Bogdan Guskov. And I've seen this fight happen in the way that it did, which is why I definitely hedged it with some different, parlays and made that one just kind of isolated to itself and it's okay. It didn't hit. But don't worry, we made our way around and we were just fine. Shout out my guy, Cesar Amadi and the Legend. Check out our episode from yesterday, breaking down all these fights that we thought weren't going to go the distance. And pretty much all of them, except for this one, ended up actually going that way. So yeah, this shit was fire. Um, let's see here. So yeah, we have Blachowicz versus Guskov. Guskov did what he needed to do, but then, like I said, like he found an opening at one point, but then swung himself out and then just wasn't able to get the job done. Blachowicz had flashes, but he just showed that, yeah, he's an older dude and homeboy, just had a step on him. And, he, like I said, he had some flashes, but other than that, yeah, Blachowicz wasn't able to get it done. Guskov gets a win, but oh no, actually, this one ended in a draw. So really, Blachowicz showed that, the old man still had a little something in there. Guskov showed that, he if he's not able to get you out of there early, he starts to fade as the fight goes, if it starts going to the cards. So yeah, that ended in a draw. So I don't even know what that did. I guess, yeah, no, it was like fight to not go to distance. It went to this distance. So yeah, we lost that one. And it's all good. No problem. Because like I said, we have plenty other ones to hedge that. Moving on then to Peyton Talbot going up against Henry Cejudo. Fight went pretty much the way I expected it to. Cejudo went out, like a warrior, but definitely got pieced up. Talbot started, to play with his food a little bit in there. But, and it had, moments where he could have finished it, but ultimately Cejudo was able to go to the decision, definitely didn't win that fight, but was able to go out the way that someone like him should. Got a nice little montage at the end, got to get on the mic and talk. Even had some words with Dana White. Sounds like he, get him a little 50K. Like, hey, kudos to Henry Cejudo. And, salutes on a stellar career. And, hey, much love. This was definitely one of those passing of the torch kind of cards and showing you that there's some new guys entering the top ranks and ready to shake things up. So then, let's see here. We move things on to Brandon Moreno versus Tatsuro Taira. This one I wasn't able to pay full attention to, and ultimately Taira got the win. Looks like the stoppage was a little bit funky, but ultimately you gotta move. Like I get it. You gotta keep yourself. You gotta defend intelligently. You don't want to get cracked, but at the same time, like, if you're not trying to get to your feet and you keep your hands to your face long enough, these referees are just gonna stop the fight. That's just what it is. And I wanted Moreno to win, but and so he was the one who ended up blowing up a money line parlay that I had put together that would have got me some good cash that I probably could have cashed out and would have been decent. But it is what it is. Not tripping. But we did very well tonight. Not tripping, but yeah, Moreno took an L, so he can kind of calmly, start to ride off into the sunset, take some interesting fights. Probably not going to be in the title talks unless he's able to string some shit together, but it's gonna take a few or however so. But yeah, Taira was able to look like just like get Brandon Moreno into a situation where he started landing some significant ground and pound. And like I said, the ref just stepped in. But salute to both those fighters. Fight didn't go the distance, and that helped cash in some significant parlays as well. Let's see here. Then we move on to the co-main event, which, okay, this is how I'm going to call. I wanted Pantoja to win. That was the thing. And he didn't, but this is, I guess, the silver lining for me. The silver lining for me in Pantoja not winning tonight is that he didn't get beat tonight. He had an unfortunate accident, got injured, And so he's going to have to go rehab his arm and his elbow, it looks like. And yeah, just looked really bad, you know, but it wasn't, and he actually was coming out strong. I think he was ready to start putting the work in on fucking Van. But Van was able to just lift him up, and he had to brace to fucking, steady himself. And unfortunately, his arms just went bent backwards, and that shit was nasty as fuck. But hey, it just is what it is. And he lost by TKO. So technically the fight didn't finish or didn't go to decision. So boom. That one was the one that cashed in everything for me and my guy. That was the one that got me all the loot. That was the one that made me say, you know what? I don't need to go deliver shit tonight. I don't need to go do a damn Uber Eat. I don't need to go do a damn Dash. I don't need to do nothing. I'm straight. So, yeah, salute to my guy, because like I said, we called a lot of fights yesterday that did exactly what they were supposed to do, outside of like one. So, and then there was even one that we were iffy on that ended up going. I think that was the Santos Naimov fight. So, bruh, like, legendary shit. Legendary shit. My guy Cesar Marin's been sending me tickets of him cashing in fucking parlays for a long time now. And then I got with the vision for the UFC Qatar card, made some loot, got on the fucking train with this card, made some loot. So we're gonna definitely continue this and continue to keep making this loot. This is a promising relationship we got here in terms of getting to the money. So shouts out to my guy Cesar Marin, the legend. And yeah, just um an underwhelming co-main event, but like I said, luckily my guy Pantoja, he'll be able to get back to the title when he makes his return. But hey, Van gets to defend the title. He gets to go home. Van's a good guy. I like Joshua Van. I'm glad he gets to get that championship money. I'm glad he gets to get more of that attention. I'm glad that he even gets to defend his belt one time. And then Pantoja comes back, and then Pantoja's probably gonna wreck him if anything freak doesn't happen again. But shouts out to Van. Like, that was probably the best outcome for Van, because Van may have even got me some fantasy lineups that cashed in some money, that because of some losses on some other people's parts, the money that I was pulling in, had Van did well, that basically at least helped me pull in something. So I even got some more money to look at that I think that's still on the table. So we're gonna check that out after this is over, because yeah, we got the main event of the evening. We had Merab Dvalishvili, unfortunately, and this fight did go the distance, which helped me cash in some parlays where I did add that one in there, because I think this one was a given that it was going to go to decision. But my guy Merab unfortunately wasn't able to defend his title for a fourth time in one calendar year. He did fight 4 times in a calendar year, still making history in that regard in defenses, but wasn't able to cash it in on winning defenses. So Petr Yan came to fucking fight tonight. The name of the game was stuff to takedowns. Basically fucking, keep it primarily standing and piece this motherfucker up, and that's exactly what Petr Yan did. He started fucking catching Merab to the body so significantly that Merab was like screaming. Not screaming. Okay, I don't want to disrespect my guy. He wasn't screaming, but he definitely would, like, I don't know if there's a not disrespectful word for this, but basically he yelped a little bit. I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say. That's my guy. I love Merab. I'm sad that he lost. The fight went the distance, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, Yan fucking did his homework. He fucking went back to the drawing board, put himself in peak fucking condition, and he was not to fucking be denied. He refused to lose in terms of accepting takedowns, and he's probably set a record for stuffing takedowns, because Merab's always gonna fucking go for mad takedowns. And so Yan made good on losing to Merab once upon a time. Just a series of events that put him kind of on a skid. He's now on a 4-fight win streak with this victory, and now a 2-time champion. So, hey, I mean, I don't know what this means for Merab. I don't know if they're going to put him right back in there, or if he has to string one or two together. He might want to take a break after, being so active. And all of that sounds good, because that's like literally that's all this was. Because Merab was doing his thing with the striking. He started getting his ass whooped, because it stayed on the feet. Eventually it was supposed to go from striking to grappling, but just didn't happen. Yeah, no, Cesar Marine says I told you it was going to go to distance, and yeah. I mean, Peter Yan is dangerous. He's not someone I'd look to see like knock people out. I think he puts the pace on fools and could break you and definitely like TKO you. But he's not the type of guy who's just gonna boom, wreck you on with one shot. He almost did finish this fight though a few different times, but he kept it patient. He just Merab almost in the sense of defending takedowns and then putting the pace on him with the striking and just landing the more impactful strikes. It was a sight to see, for sure. It was a sight to see. I think everybody was wondering, when someone does beat this dude, how's it going to look? And I think that's about as on fucking point with how that was supposed to happen as it could be. I think Peter Yan's a good guy to be the example for that because he works hard. He works hard. He had a unfortunate sequence of events that led to him, being on the bad end and people starting to wonder if he was ever going to be in the title picture again. Worked his way back, got a rematch, and made good on a lot of things. So salute to him. Weird that both titles changed, even though the co-main event was due to some freak circumstances with Pantoja bending his arm backwards, trying to brace a fall after actually getting busy early in that first round. But yeah, just is what it is. But that's how the card went. But yeah, once again, just to circle back, me and Cesar Martin made a lot of money tonight. Like we were trading tickets back and forth, and we made a lot of money. So salute to him. We got one more card left, y'all. We got a fight night. It's gonna be Brandon Royval versus Manal Cop, I think, at the Apex. Got one more, man. We're gonna be streaming live from the Whiskey Bar downtown in Denver, Colorado. 2203 Larimer Street. Make sure you come check us out. Come have a drink. And then we're gonna keep it moving over there. I think we're gonna really try and get something going to bring in the year right for that 324 event, and really ramp things up for the new year. So please stay tuned with us. Make sure that you like this episode or this recap. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Shouts out to everybody that views. Shouts out to everybody that supports the channel. If you want to support the channel, become a member, all that good stuff, make sure you check out our Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. And yeah, shouts out to everybody. Shouts out to my bro hosts, Darren Teed, Ray Bucks. We did well tonight on our picks. Make sure you go check out the UFC predictions tracker to see how we stacked up against the rest of everybody in the picks and predictions field. Even if you didn't, you know, even if our picks didn't do you well, if you checked out yesterday's episode with me and Cesar Marin, the legend, here in the chat, me and him ran down a lot of shit. And, bruh, we did our thing. So make sure you start checking those out. Let's see here. Football picks. Yo, my guy, he gets into a lot of stuff. I seen him cash in. He was cashing in some nice NBA parlays last night. He's got the football. Me myself, I've been doing sneaky, nasty work on the live drive betting for football. So I get into the NFL games and I literally bet drive by drive what the outcome's going to be, and I'm making nasty money. I really want to start a channel doing that, but we got to take things one step at a time. But oh my god, I'm telling you, you gotta check me out one of these days. It literally makes any game exciting. Like literally, I can watch any fucking game, and just based upon just the possibility of a turnover or a fucking missed field goal or oh my god, bro, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, gotta check out that live drive betting. for football. Especially if you're like one of those Madden guys and you really know how to get into a coach's head and know what they would do in certain situations, bruh, you can make some shit happen. I'm telling you. But that's another story. Yeah. But outside of that, make sure that you go follow us on IG and TikTok at Bros Talk MMA. And you can follow me at on both of those platforms as well at Utica, UTICA_SME. You can follow me on both of those platforms as well. Check out some of the other shit that I'm into outside of doing this MMA shit, which I've been enjoying. And literally, the next episode marks not only our 84th episode, which 84 means that we've made it through 2 full calendar years of UFC events, starting with the first event in 2024, leading us all the way to this last event of 2025 next Saturday. So, hey, man, it's been a work in progress. Shout outs to our like 329 subscribers. Shouts out to all the subscribers to come. Shouts out to everybody that tunes in, even on the casual. If you ain't subscribed, like, I appreciate y'all. And we're just going to keep building this, man, because to be totally honest, MMA is my favorite sport. I really enjoy covering it. I've always wanted to do a YouTube channel, a platform similar to this. And I felt like UFC was the perfect sport for it. Me and my brother been doing this, and then we brought on our other brother, Darren Teed, which we've known him since we were kids, like since I was like 10 years old. So, it just makes for a good experience. We hope that we can get some of y'all out to the Whiskey Bar, Denver, here soon to check out some of our live streams that we do out of there. Shouts out to them. And yeah, shouts out to my guy Cesar Marin one more time in the chat. Shouts out the UFC Predictions Tracker. Shouts out Cash Money, G-Wave. Shouts out Fight Bloodline, Be Ready 303. Shouts out Twan Lorenzo, Phaedra. Thank you so much for everybody who supports us. Shouts out to Queen Angel. Shouts out to everybody that tunes in and has been supporting us. We really appreciate y'all as we go into this second year. And then we start our third year of covering fights. Soon to be your favorite predictions, picks, and parlays MMA/UFC channel, and soon to be prop parlays in particular. You're about to make a lot of money here. This is Bros Talk MMA UFC 323 official recap. I'm your host Utica, undeniably the illest cat around, aka Mr. Make This Pick Real Quick. Shouts out to my bro hosts Ray Bucks, Darren Teed, and until the next time, folks, we out.